Oh man, I hope you can hear that crunch. If not, you're just gonna have to try them for yourself. Pork rinds can be the perfect keto snack if they're done right. If they're not, and they've sat on the shelf for a while, you get them out of the bag, you rip that bag open and it's just terrible. The key to great pork rinds is having them fresh. And when you get them in the store, you just never know how long they've been sitting there and what kind of quality you're gonna get. You can season them up just like a potato chip. And today on Southern Keto, I'm gonna show you how to make them fresh so that they're delicious all the time. Because not only are they the perfect keto snack, they're also the perfect keto ingredient to replace flour and a lot of other stuff. I even make desserts out of them, but like I said, they have to be right or you're gonna have a porky tasting dessert. So today I'm gonna show you how to make your own so they're always tasty and delicious. You can use them in desserts, you can use them as a breading, or you can just eat them. And I'm gonna show you 3 different flavors you can put on them so they're absolutely delicious. Stick around. So a lot of you have seen my keto bread recipe, and there's been just a few comments that said, wow, I really taste a lot of pork rinds in there. And the problem is those pork rinds were not fresh. And I was approached by a company that sent me out some samples to try. I did not like them. So I reached out to this company because I knew they were in close proximity to a lot of farms, and I knew their stuff would be fresh, and I was right. Today I'm gonna share that with you. The ones I found that I really love are these Julia's Pantry Carolina Gold Nuggets. And it is Carolina Gold. I'm telling you, you're absolutely gonna love these. Now this says microwave pork rind pellets, but I'm gonna make them 3 different ways for you today, and I'll show you which one's my favorite. And you may or may not have made these before, and if you have, you may have had a problem with the seasoning sticking to them. So I'm gonna show you my trick for that also. So let's go ahead and get started with the first of 3 different flavorings that I'm gonna do with these pork rinds, and I'll show you how to make them. Now the first one we're gonna make uses the seasoning that I used in the Keto Doritos. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll link to it right up here, and I'll put it down in the description too. You'll absolutely love these. Even if you don't wanna make the full Doritos, you can do these and they're quick and easy. So I'm gonna do 5 pork rinds with each flavor, and each one with a different method, and we'll see which one comes out the best. Now this is the 1 pound bag of these pork pellets. They sell them all the way up to 10 pounds. They'll probably sell more. The more you buy, the cheaper they are. So if you love pork rinds, and if you don't now, you're gonna love them after this anyway. So just pick the size that works best for you. Now I've got a discount code for you. I'll link it right down there and in the description. It's gonna save you a little money. So what I'm gonna do is just take 5 of these chips and just put them on a regular plate for now. I mean, that just sounds good already, right? And then just seal these up. Once the seal is broken, they last for about 9 months. So you don't have to worry about these going bad like some of those bags that you have sitting on the shelf for a year or 2, or who knows how long. Now you're gonna have to know your microwave. So the first batch you do is gonna kind of be a test batch for you. But I'm gonna take just a regular paper bag. I'm gonna take some of this avocado oil spray, and I'm just gonna give these a little mist. The nice thing about these is they're only pork and salt, and so there's no additives like some of the ingredients in these ones you find in the store. I mean, these you can find anywhere. They look pretty good, right? Salt and vinegar. I mean, what could possibly go wrong here? Oh, salt, maltodextrin, malic acid. The vinegar powder, I'm gonna tell you about that in a little bit. But they've got so many ingredients in here. What in the world are they even doing? We'll throw those back. Ah, but these should be fine. They're old-fashioned, see? Says it right there. So I guess back in the old-fashioned days, they must have had maltodextrin, monosodium glutamate, hydrolyzed corn protein, and torula yeast? What is that even? Nope, not today. Oh, the cheap store brand probably got a ton of crappy ingredients, right? Oh, actually no. Fried pork skins and salt, so we're better, but who knows how long it's been sitting on that shelf. I'm gonna show you a better way. And these you can get absolutely anywhere, made by Frito-Lay. Terrible ingredients, right? Nope. Once again, fried pork skins and salt. They probably make the store brand, but they're not gonna be fresh. Now I'm just gonna kind of mix this around. Make sure you get some of that avocado oil on both sides of this. And I'm just gonna dump them in this little paper bag here. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of my Dorito seasoning, and you can use as much or as little as you want. This is probably 2 teaspoons. I'm just gonna sprinkle it in there. I'm gonna fold this up, and I'm gonna go to town. And this should make sure that the coating sticks all over that. Then I'm gonna take one of these just plain old uncoated paper plates, the cheap kind. And I told y'all when I made this Dorito video that you'd have another use for this, and so this is one of them. You can also use this on cauliflower, you can use it on chicken, you can use it on any kind of meat. I mean, it's just delicious, so enjoy it. So now that I've got that all shaken up, I'll just pour these bad boys out on the plate. And I got a little extra seasoning in there. And that ain't no big deal, I'll pour it back in there. See how good those are coated on there like that? I'm gonna put these in the microwave for 2 minutes on high, and we'll check them. Now, this is not like popcorn. You're not gonna hear a bunch of popping and cracking and booming. You gotta watch them. When they puff up, they're ready. And I'll show you what it looks like in the microwave. Now, I apologize, this is not the best view right here, because, you know, there's that little coating on there. But see how these just start to pop open like that? Once they're all open, then they are ready. And then we're just gonna let them cool down, and we'll give them a try. So that's what you're looking like right there. And see how that coating sticks real nice to them? So I'll just let these cool for a minute, and then we'll give them a try and see what we think. All right, so you saw how all the coating sticks to these? It's absolutely delicious. The cool thing is with this, it does not smell like pork rinds. That's the key to having pork rinds that you can use in bread, desserts, and all kind of other things without having an overwhelming odor or taste. Let me give these a shot. Let's see how crispy they are with the microwave version. Oh man. Oh man. Hey, this is absolutely delicious. I hope you can hear that crunch. If not, you're just going to have to try them for yourself. Well, let's go on to the next version. We're going to do these in the oven. While we're waiting for the oven to preheat, I'm going to go ahead and make the barbecue seasoning for this next oven batch. So I'm going to do a barbecue flavored pork rind. I'm just going to take a little airtight container like this. Very simple. I'm going to take my Splenda Magic Baker's Brown. And again, this is a seasoning you can use for all kind of things, but this is just a small amount right here. So just use, you can cut this in half if you just want to do a few pork rinds or try it out. But I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of this and just put it right in this container. You can mix it all up right in there, no problem. Just make sure you zip it up every time real good to keep it from getting real hard in there on you. My version of this is coming soon. I'll show you how to store it and where you can make a lot more for about 1/3 of the price. The next thing I'm going to do is use the regular Splenda Magic Bakers. Now y'all don't freak out. This is not regular Splenda. This is not maltodextrin. If you'll read this, the ingredients on this are erythritol, allulose, and stevia leaf extract. If you have a problem with either of those three, don't use it, but it's not regular Splenda sweetener, so don't worry. I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna use this same cup because I don't like doing a lot of dishes, but this is a 1/4 cup. I'm gonna use half of this, so 1/8 of a cup of the granulated. And this is not an exact science. We're not building rocket ships to fly to Mars or anything. This is just a barbecue seasoning, so don't sweat it if you put a little bit too much of one thing or the other. Just adjust it the way you like. You can even add other ingredients to this if you want to. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. I cannot wait to show y'all my version. It's coming real soon of this Magic Bakers. Save you some money, and it's delicious. Works exactly the same as this, and you're gonna love it. Now I'm gonna take my garlic powder, and you know that I love garlic powder. Ain't no vampires around these parts. We use enough to take care of us, the neighbors, and everybody in a 1-mile radius. So if there's ever a vampire invasion, you know which way to come. So I'm gonna use a tablespoon of this, maybe a little more just for good measure, or bad measure. Actually, it was no measure, so there you go. Then I'm gonna use my smoked paprika. Now I'm gonna use a tablespoon of this also, and you can use smoked or you can use non-smoked, just depending. but I like a nice smoky and sweet barbecue. And so that's the flavor that I've come up with for this. So I'm just gonna dump that right in there as well. And then I'll break out the old teaspoon. We'll go in with a teaspoon of onion powder. Man, I gotta get some more onion powder. I'm about out of that. I love this stuff too. Garlic and onions. Hey, that's your best friend when you're making seasonings, that's for sure. And again, I don't want to do a bunch of dishes, so this is a teaspoon. I'm gonna use a quarter of it and put in some chili powder. So a quarter teaspoon of chili powder. You can use a dark chili powder if you've got it. It makes it a little bit milder flavor. I want a nice full flavored chili in this one, so I'm gonna go in with this. But if you got the dark and you like that, or the ancho chili powder, either one, they'll both be great. And then my Redmond's real salt. Another quarter of a teaspoon of that right in there. I think that got it all. We'll just put the lid right on top, and these containers I'll link down there in my Amazon store, and I'll put the links to everything I use in this video down there also. Just give it a nice shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. And if you get any lumps in there like this, which you probably will, just fork it. That ain't no problem. Just break all that up real good, and you'll have a nice seasoning when you get done. Now, after you get done with a fork, you should have a nice, consistent mixture like that. If there's any more lumps in there, just take them out. Ain't no problem, but it should be just like that. So that's a good thing. So with the oven method, I would recommend that you just put these in here with nothing on them. 400 degrees. Put your sheet of parchment paper down. We'll bake these first and then season them. 3, 4, and 5. So let's throw them in 400 degree oven for about 5 minutes. We'll check them after that. See you in 5. And with that barbecue seasoning, I just recommend you use the same method, but just season them afterwards. That way you don't have to worry about how that sweetener reacts with certain things or certain temperatures. So just use it afterwards. And you can see this a whole lot better, what's going on in the oven. See how they start to puff up like that? They are getting right. So after 5 minutes, there's still one that wants to be a little bit stubborn in there. So we'll take the rest of them out, and I'll leave this one in there for just a little bit longer. So I'll grab these out because they're ready. We'll go ahead and throw them right in here. Oh man. As soon as you take them out, you can spray them a little if you want to. It'll help it stick a little bit better. But you got that pork fat on there too. So just take them, throw them right in the bag. And then go in with a little of this barbecue seasoning. Give it a proper shake. Then we'll put these on a plate and check on that other one. I mean, look at that beautiful barbecue goodness. These things are gonna be amazing. So after those are cool, let me give it a try and see if this is better than the microwave. I'll tell you one thing, it's absolutely delicious and crunchy. I think the seasoning does stick a little better when you spray them first, but for the barbecue, you really do want to put it on afterwards. So maybe just give it a little more spray, just so you don't have to worry about that sweetener cooking before the pork rinds do. And then last but not least is my absolute favorite. We're gonna do some salt and vinegar. So I'm gonna go ahead and do these ahead of time. We're gonna air fry these. So go ahead and take 5. And if you're making a big batch, you could probably just put some avocado oil in a little bowl and just kind of roll it around in there if you wanted to. But since I'm doing a little smaller batch, I'll just do this. I'll just roll it around like that, make sure both sides are coated. You can make a little music if you want to. Throw these in the bag. Then I'm gonna use my salt and vinegar seasoning. Now all this is vinegar powder, and I'll put the link to that down below. It's 7 parts vinegar powder, 1 part salt. Now this, I put a little bit of chives from the garden that I had dried up and put in there just for a little extra flavor. But if you want true salt and vinegar, just use 7 parts of that vinegar powder, 1 part salt, and it's absolutely delicious. Now I'll just give that a little sprinkle in here. We'll give that a good shake, and we'll throw it in the air fryer. All right, let's head over to the air fryer, fry these bad boys up. Now I'm not gonna break out the big Tyfer for this because we're just air frying just a few. And you can see I need to clean this bad boy out a little bit, but I'll just put my 5 little chips right in here for some salt and vinegar pork rinds. I'm gonna throw this in, air fry. I'm going to 400 degrees, and we're gonna do this for 5 minutes. Now I didn't preheat this. You could preheat it if you want to, but we'll just check it after 5 minutes and see what happens. So once you hear them like rolling around like that in there, it's done. So that actually only took about 3.5 minutes, and those are done in there. That's the air fryer version. Let me give these a try. Oh man. Well, I can tell you, it's definitely between the air fryer and the microwave. Not as big a fan of the oven. Because these two methods cook a whole lot faster, and especially if you're using the barbecue seasoning in the oven, the seasoning may cook before the pork rinds do. So my order is gonna be number 1, microwave. Number 2, air fryer. Number 3 is oven, and I probably won't do them in the oven again. If you want some great pork rind videos, make sure you subscribe. And when you make these, make sure you check out this video for the best possible desserts you can make with pork rinds, and check out this one for the ultimate keto bread. Make these like this, you'll absolutely love it. No pork rind taste.